What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today, you know what? I want to take a look at, I posted this a couple of months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. And this is a graph, and we're going to go over it, and we're going to kind of, this illustration, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about here. But what's interesting is when we're looking at this Build Back Better plan, or before it was a $3.5 trillion stimulus package, or the $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill, all these different names that are coming out. But we knew some of the things that were in this plan, and we were hoping that they would stay in the plan. And so I want to take a look at this plan. I want to take a look at this Build Back Better plan and just show you exactly what is off the table now. And it's a lot. And when you see it in an illustration, it's much more impactful. So that's what we're going to do today. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money, news, and more. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to show you guys this illustration. And like I said, I posted this was 2 or 3 months ago. And you can go back and check the video and you'll see this is the exact same illustration. So I want to look at some of the different things here, because the interesting part about this is a lot of this stuff is gone, a lot. And so first, let's start off with the 3 trillion. Okay, 3.5 trillion. We know it's not 3.5 trillion anymore. We're looking at 1.75 trillion. That's what we know right now. Now that could change because it's passed the House. Okay, this Build Back Better bill, or the human infrastructure bill, the same 3.5 trillion is now 1.75 trillion. It's passed the House, but guess what? Now it has to go through the Senate, and that's where it's going to see most of the roadblocks. We're going to be looking at Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema, and those are the two right now that are holdouts. So universal pre-K. The good news is that seems to have survived. Okay, so it looks like that will be in this Build Back Better plan. 2 years of free community college, that is gone. Okay, paid family leave. This is something else. At the current time, it's gone. And so we know Senator Manchin is not for paid family leave, or I won't say he's not for it. At the present time, Senator Manchin wants this to be bipartisan. So he wants Republicans to come on board. Republicans are not going to come on board for paid family leave. They're going to have to do it separate. So basically, they're going to have to take it out of this Build Back Better, this reconciliation bill, take it out of this bill and do it as a separate bill in order for it to pass, because the way it is right now, it's just not going to work. Okay, so as far as elder care and child care, as of right now, I'm going to put a question mark for this because we don't know. We don't know how they're going to handle it. I don't know exactly how Senator Manchin feels about this. So I'll give it a question mark as of right now. Fossil fuels, we know that this is probably going to be a no, but we're going to have to see how they maneuver when it comes to this. You're going to have some clean energy in there. Right now, Senator Manchin doesn't think that this would be effective, and that's the whole issue. And so if he can get some assurances that it's effective, then maybe he will want to move forward with this. So we'll have to see. And realistically, I could put a question mark for this because we're not sure. We're not exactly sure how Senator Manchin is going to handle this. Extending of the child tax credit. Right now, this is a big question mark because Senator Manchin thinks it needs to be more targeted, or he's against it because it's not more targeted. So I won't even say he thinks it needs to be more targeted. Right now, the excuse that he's using why he doesn't want to move forward with extending the child tax credit is because it's not targeted. And so if they start negotiating and then it comes up with a situation where they put something in front of them and say, okay, this is more targeted. Do you like this? We'll have to see if Senator Manchin wants to go with that. And you hear I'm saying Senator Manchin a lot. I'm not saying much about Senator Sinema, and that is because Senator Sinema is not really clear on what she wants and what she doesn't want. And the only reason that we find out that she's against something is because she'll just come out and say, I'm not going to vote for it. But she doesn't give us really the reasons behind it or what can be negotiated in order to make it happen. So that's interesting that Senator Sinema is really not out there talking much about this stuff. She really isn't. And so that becomes a real problem because when you're looking at a senator that's really not playing a role, then how do you negotiate with someone like that? How do you negotiate with someone if you don't really know where they're coming from and they're all over the place with their different demands? So looking and I think this is, we kind of know about some of these things here. And monthly stimulus payments, we know that's out. It was talked about early this year. It hasn't been talked about since. Stimulus check, a forced stimulus check. And I've been telling you guys this for months now, and this is unfortunate, but we're looking at a situation where there's no forced stimulus check. They're not talking about a forced stimulus check. And so we're not going to see that, especially now when we're looking at inflation. It's just not something that I think politicians are comfortable with. And maybe their plan, I don't want to get your hopes up with this. Okay. So please just listen to what I'm saying, but don't take it as this is what's going to happen. But maybe there is a plan next year, right before the election, to try to have some type of a more targeted forced stimulus check go out. Maybe that is the plan. But like I'm saying, I don't want to get your hopes up. No politician has talked about this. I'm just saying this because we know it's an election year, and so maybe they will try to put some stuff out there. I know that they're going to focus on Social Security. I know that that's going to be something. Social Security reform is something that needs to happen, and so I think that they will be taking that up next year. Now, we do have another opportunity at reconciliation. So you have this reconciliation bill. Hopefully they can do something this month with reconciliation. And then next year, they'll have another opportunity for reconciliation bill. And maybe they can incorporate some of those things like Social Security reform, Medicare reform, things like that. Okay. But as of right now, forced stimulus check is not on the table. $200 raise for Social Security. This is something else that we're not hearing anything about, right? We haven't heard anything about the $200 raise for Social Security. We know that the COLA came out 5.9%. So people will see a raise of, on average, maybe around $100. But as far as the $200 raise that was talked about by Senator Elizabeth Warren and even talked about by President Biden when he was running for president, we're not hearing anything about that right now. Okay, Social Security increase to 100% of the poverty level. And I'm talking about this is just the reconciliation bill that we have in front of us, a $1.75 trillion. Now, I'm not saying that this is not going to happen. It might happen in the future, but I'm just saying right now it is not in the bill. And so this is another thing that's not in the bill. The SSI Restoration Act, something else that's not in the bill. They're not talking about that. And so when you look at this, when I zoom out here and you just look at everything that we're expecting in this Build Back Better bill, there's not too much, right? We have the universal preschool. We'll say that the extending of the child tax credit will be in there, and then we have question marks here. I mean, there are like 4 things that are in this bill, and everything else is not in this bill, right? And some of these things, we anticipated them not being in the bill already because they weren't being talked about. But as you can see, this bill has really been gutted. So we'll have to see what they come up with. And like I said, the hope is December, they can get this taken care of. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if that's enough time. It is a holiday season. So, I mean, we're going to have them in and out. They're not going to be working too much. And so because of that, we could see a situation where they just don't have enough time. When it comes to them, they don't have enough time to move forward. However, the bill is sitting in the Senate, so the Senate's going to have to figure out when they're going to take this up. But we have other things out there. We have funding of the government. We have the debt ceiling. We have NDAA, so the National Defense funding for that. So we have a lot of different things going on, and we don't know exactly when this will be taken up. I'm hoping they can get this done this year. And the reason that I say that is, like I said, there's another reconciliation bill they can use next year. So get this one done this year and then use another reconciliation bill to hopefully address some of these things that are not going to be in this Build Back Better plan. So if you guys have questions, post them down below. I want to know, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about this whole thing, that this little illustration that I showed you, and I crossed out pretty much everything? What do you think about Congress? Are they really here to help the American people? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.